Did you ever wonder what would happen if the strongest fighters from the zombie-verse fought against the Titans in the OG series? Who would come out on top? I mean, we've seen how overpowered both sides could really be if they actually got serious. But in order to answer this, I picked the strongest from each verse to participate in a deathmatch. And trust me, this video is going to be super entertaining, as while you're going to see some really intense matchups, there are also going to be some bullying and one-sided ones as well. So without wasting any time, let's get right to it. The wheel begins, and our first matchup is already looking sick because we've got the Zombie TV against the Astro Detainer. You see, the Astro Detainer easily ranks among the top 3 strongest Astros in his series, so it makes sense that he's really no joke. He was able to flex on the trio Titans in his first appearance, and boy, that was some disrespectful stuff. Anyways, he went even further to take on Jimmy, and I don't want to talk about that because it felt totally one-sided until, well, that happened. The Astro Detainer happens to be extremely durable, as we saw him casually tank multiple shots from G-Man and was still able to get back up. But when it comes to speed, his is extremely off the charts. Not only that, the Astro Detainer's abilities grant him access to energy control and other overpowered stuff. But despite all these, I still see this as a one-sided matchup because the Monster Up TV is a total monster. Not only does he have one of the best hands out there, his durability and attack potency take things to the next level. Add this together with his ability to infect and regenerate, and the Astro's speed wouldn't even matter, because if things get a little heated, he could just multiply like we've seen, effortlessly giving him the win on this one. The OG series takes a massive loss. However, the next matchup could easily turn the tides. So, spinning the wheels again, and we now get the G-Toilet against our big boy Camera Titan. And obviously, we're going to be considering both of them in peak health here, because you know they've got their share of rough moments. Either way, their strength is totally unmatched, and I would say this fight would be kind of close, as while the G-Toilet is able to get the job done with a couple of punches, the OG Camera straight up one-shots his opponents. Speed, however, would be completely one-sided, as the Camera Titans are mostly built like tanks, but the G-Toilet, on the other hand, was able to pull off these cool moves, and also has a decent amount of flexibility. But when we move further and look closely into durability, the OG Camera completely throws Jimmy out of the water, hands down. I mean, he's been shown to tank Jimmy's lasers countless times, and let's not forget the Skibidi Strider moment. However, I don't see him surviving Jimmy's atomic blast because, let's be real, that's just overkill. In terms of weapons, these guys would be similar as well, but I think it's time I give my verdict. Even though the OG Camera had some pretty amazing feats in his prime, he'd still lose to this Jimmy 80% of the time due to all his broken stats and devastating attacks, so that's another win for Monster Up. But let's spin the wheels again, and we've got Red Drill Titan fighting against the OG Jimmy. Now, the Drill Titan from the Monsterverse isn't one to joke with. Even from his first appearance, you could tell he wasn't playing games. He was able to violate his zombified base version effortlessly, and similar to the original, he's got some pretty cool abilities. We even got to see this one-sided beatdown, with the Drill Titan violating the Siren Titan, which speaks volumes of his insane physical strength. As if that wasn't crazy enough, he's now got access to the Siren's abilities, and that turned out to be completely OP. I mean, check out him fighting against the zombified TV, and you'll get what I mean. But he's up against the King of Plot, so you know it's going to get real crazy. Jimmy has been upgraded multiple times up to this point, and not gonna lie, he's gotten pretty strong. We saw him fight on equal footing with the Juggernaut Astro, and I actually think that was a bully, but either way, that just brings more stuff to the table. He's got access to invisibility, can create holograms, and of course he's got boys to jump opponents if things get rough. Add that with massive amounts of plot armor, and I think we've got our winner for this one. Spinning the wheels again, and we've got the matchup between the Zombie Speaker and Astro Juggernaut. I'll just go ahead and say it. This Zombie Speaker would need every single help he can get, because even though he's got all the prep time, that wouldn't really matter in some extreme cases against this opponent. I mean, the Juggernaut was able to take on the most powerful Titans of the Alliance and put them in the dirt regardless. Unless the infected speaker has something really crazy up his sleeves, this is just going to be another backshot experience. But this becomes consistent, as he even violated the Speaker Titan in his series. Even Jimmy wasn't spared. He's the perfect mixture of brute strength and absolute defense, not to mention how potent his blasters really are. As of now, the Juggernaut is undoubtedly the strongest Astro in the Skibidi series, so what's a Speaker really gonna do to him? Well, the Speaker has his greatest asset, which is to try to infect him, but for someone with such speed, that would be a problem. The Speaker also has insane durability, as he can regenerate, and has sound waves which could potentially stun the Juggernaut. Juggernaut, but sadly, with his current feats, I don't see him coming close to the level of the Juggernaut. The OG series takes another win here, moving on to the next deathmatch, and things go totally dark, because we've got the OG TV against the Siren Titan. Now this battle would be super complicated. That's why I created a poll, and almost everyone out there went with the OG TV, which is kinda surprising by the way, but down there in the comments, it was actually reasonable. I mean, even this dude wanted a shout out. So yeah, shout out to Amy Keeling. Either way, we gotta look real hard into this one. The Siren dude is a very unique Titan out there in the zombie-verse, and his abilities are what I'd call broken, because he's kind of like the counter-Titan. But this time, he steals the ability for a short period, leaving his opponents powerless. And as if that wasn't broken enough, Monster Up just had to give him insane physical strength, a holographic shield, and a sword. And to top it all off, he's got an EMP blast which completely shuts down all power. And although we don't really know how that would work on a Titan, it's still quite impressive. Obviously, bringing all these to the table, the OG TV is already at a disadvantage. But let's see which of his stats would be useful in this fight. Firstly, his critical hits, because that would be the only way to damage his opponent. He's also got a decent amount of physical strength, which would really come in handy. The raise and splitting body technique would be a huge asset as well. However, despite all these, I tend to lean towards the Siren Titan, as his broken abilities just makes this a walk in the park, and I don't think teleporting or the TV's fighting style would be a match. For the last and final Titan matchup, we've got the Monster Up Camera Titan against the Speaker Titan. As we know, the Camera Titan is incredibly powerful and has been among the most durable Titans in the series. He delivers the most ridiculous attacks with crazy precision, and he's a master when it comes to utilizing weapons. He almost violated the infected Speaker Titan in their fight, and oh boy, that entrance was totally off the charts. He's a beast when it comes to fighting, as even both the drill and infected Speaker combined still lost to him. And if you saw that fight, yeah, you'd know how good he can be. If he decides to jump the OG Speaker, it's pretty much GG. However, the Speaker has a ton of abilities up his sleeves, like the Supercharged State, which completely boosts his overall stats, giving him crazy attack potency, kind of like what he did with those poor mutants, or his sound waves that are capable of stunning enemies, so fending off most of the camera's attacks won't be a problem, right? Plus, he could also inflict his own damage. Although the Speaker might seem to stand a chance, that wouldn't really be the case if the Camera Titan decides to go all out, because he'd be playing all his cards like his Plasma Bomb, which is similar to a nuke explosion, blasters or swords. And to top it all off, he's also got Infected, and that is surely going to amp all his stats. Oh damn. Based on his recent showings, the Camera Titan got this matchup in the bag. The OG Speaker Titan is quite skilled, not gonna lie. But against the Camera Titan, he loses. The Monsterverse takes this round. In these matchups, the OG Titan won 2 matches while Monster Up won 4. However, check out this video to see what happens if the Astros fought against Dom Studios' Titans.